Good evening and welcome to Gameboyz Talk S01. It's just a light little podcast where we all got together and we sort of have unscripted talk about weird stuff that's going on or weird stuff that's happened in history or our own little weird experiences. Now, I'm Ritchie Johnston. I'm not alone this evening. We've got James Herrington with us, but he isn't with us. In essence, he's with us in spirit right now, but he will be dropping into the podcast at some point. I am joined by Jonathan Edwards. How you doing, Jonathan Edwards?
I'm good, man.
We're also joined this evening by Ryin Leeder. How you doing?
I'm good.
We're also joined by Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. How are you this evening?
Oh, hi, guys. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good.
On with tonight's show, we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight: spooky homes and paranormal hunting equipment. Because it's something I end up watching a lot of paranormal shows with the missus, and as you do, you sort of pick up a thing or two along the way when you're watching it, and you're like, oh, come on, this is fucking tosh, you know what I mean? When they're like, is anybody there? And they're waiting and they're waiting. All I want on one of these shows is for somebody to hold the EVP machine out and they're like, hello, is anybody there? And as clear as day, a voice just go, yeah! Just as clear as day. That would be validation for me.
Such a big headline.
Honestly,
it'd be the most viewed thing you'd ever see.
Be like, yeah, that place is definitely haunted. Stay out of that place. Johnny piped up and he's got a story about a paranormal experience that's happened to him. For this first part of the show, we'll throw it over to you, Jono, and let you tell the story of what happened to you. The floor is yours for this one, mate.
Alright, so it was one day during the first ever lockdown of the United Kingdom.
Six months ago then, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
That was quite paranormal for myself,
So anyway.
Me and the missus were in a mum and dad's house, and we're there cooking parmo.
Parmo?
We had this pan of oil just on, warming up, getting ready. It had been on for a few minutes. We both turned around because we were messing on in the kitchen. The next thing I know...
Wait. Let's rewind it back a little bit. You were messing on in the kitchen. What was you messing on?
The counters?
Yeah. From the windows to the walls, yeah?
I can't sing the next bit. I really wanted to sing.
You're not allowed to sing the next bit. This is radio and podcast. We've got to keep it clean. Johnny was doing the mess around, like Ray Charles, yeah? And then...
And all of a sudden this pan just comes flying off the stove. And I mean, it doesn't just slip off. It literally, jumped off the stove.
It wasn't...
She just didn't lean on the pan.
Oh, you sure it wasn't a dad, get off me daughter, you scumbag? Because, that's also a thing that father-in-laws do, I've heard this.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the pan flies off.
Then she tells me this story about some kid that haunts the living room or something.
Let's try and piece this together, right? So, Bed's clearly got the monk on, because Johnny's got the
stonk on.
He is Kim's protector in essence. He's got a vibe about you, Johnny, I'm telling you, that's what it is. He's like,
I know this guy. I've seen this type out here before.
Anything else happen afterwards, with the pan and the wall, or was that just your one sort of
That was just it.
So, before the show, he's hyping it up I got this big ghost story that'll wow you both, and it's just a pan of water while he's messing around with his girlfriend.
Pan of oil.
Oh, pan of oil.
Still doesn't make a difference, it's still a liquid.
Yeah, But yeah, does it make you a believer having that happen to you then, or are you still kind of a skeptic with stuff like that?
I still think she threw it at me personally.
I mean, you can't really sort of call them... Well, you can't call that last one a ghost story, really, can you? Is that Jam? Is Jam back in the group now?
Binga, 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 binga.
Because I know what you like for spoilers, Jam. I thought you'd skip ahead to next week's episode, which is about alien abduction, so I thought you'd kind of...
No. I love how I keep getting friend requests from this person called Ryan, and it's a lass with a dog.
A lass... Oh, okay. So anyway, welcome back to the Gameboyz show here. We've now got a full squadron. We were just talking the first two paranormal stuff. I didn't realise you were recording. He didn't. But yeah, anyway, Amityville Horror, you guys have heard of that one, right? Yeah, about the case of the Lutzes.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to Google this, so no.
The Amityville Horror is based on a true story. There's a lot of controversy around it.
A lot of things based on a true story.
But it actually chronicles the case of the Lutz family who moved into a home off of, I think it's Long Island, New York, Amityville. And as it went on, some weird stuff kind of started happening. Some of the events that happened was stuff being thrown around the house, tables and chairs being stacked up upon one another. The husband says he was possibly possessed. Really sort of weird paranormal stuff, to the point that the family got scared and had to leave the house, and they had to get world famous parapsych demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren of The Conjuring fame and of real world fame to go and investigate the house. Now there's been much of controversy about the state of the Amityville Horror because it's never actually been proven if the house was actually haunted. However, it has spawned a series of films and remakes and spin-offs and whatnots and everything else in between. Now with the Amityville Horror, there was a story that before the Lutzes bought the house, and this is a true story. It was owned by the DeFeos, and one of the DeFeo's sons one night at 3 a.m. I believe it was, he took a shotgun and decided to murder his whole family as they slept in their beds. But then the claims came with it that he was possessed, and a lot of that happened after the story sort of came to, because in interviews and that, Ronnie DeFeo, who murdered his family, he said he was on a lot of drugs at the time, he was involved in a lot of bad things, but it got kind of spun in through the ages that he kind of may have been possessed as well, because of the spirits in the house. Over recent years, new owners have purchased the house and said that there's been no such issues since, like not so much as a flickering light bulb, which does beg the question: is the house actually haunted, or was it just a passing thing, or was it all made up?
A couple of an argument, the guy stacks the furniture up just to piss her off.
Well, there you go, jam the ghost hunter straight up debunked.
Ryan, don't you have a story?
Basically, when we were younger, Mark stayed around mine, slept on the floor. He wakes up in the middle of the night, sits right up, screams at my clothes, please don't kill me, so I throw a pillow out and tell him to shut the fuck up, and he goes back to bed and steals my pillow.
Wow, not even a paranormal story, it was just the clothes in the night. Wow.
No, I'm telling you, I saw a head, a pair of arms, and a pair of legs just hanging there.
You
wearing
saw
his clothes.
A shirt,
I saw.
had some trousers on a coat hanger, hanging from the door.
Yeah, and his head went 360 degrees and looked at me, and I pooped myself. So
It's too late, you've already said it already. But yeah, we talked to paranormal stories already, Johnny and Mark with his Ryan's clothes experience. Did you end up sharing the bed with Ryan that night, or did you stay on the floor, or did you huddle in the corner? What did you do?
I didn't stay in the bed with me, fuck that.
So am I the only one that's privileged enough to do that?
Oh!
No, we were just really drunk.
Oh!
Ghost hunting has evolved over the years. Now you've got 1,000,001 haunted locations. I mean, technically, if you think about it, the world is a big enough place. If ghosts were a thing, there'd be a ghost everywhere, right? If you think about it, as to how energy sort of moves on and everything like that, there'd be an event pretty much in everybody's house, because places built on battlefields or whatnot. Go on, Mark, you fire away.
So just going off what you're saying as well, we have to kind of look at the conflicts that have gone on in people's lives as well. So obviously with that, not just speaking from your point of view. Hey Ryan, you might want to listen to this, it could affect you, mate.
Oh,
very doubt it will.
Obviously with, say, we'll go for example, a war.
Why a war?
I get where he's going with it. He's saying like there's a wound and an echo there of a previous event.
So if you think the previous biggest national day that we have as a country, possibly all around the world,
Christmas Day,
depending on not Christmas Day, Remembrance Day.
Oh yeah.
So obviously, if you think about everyone that's experienced things and like people that have lost family members due to conflicts, not just back then but now as well. There could be certain features within the house, or sort of personal.
You're saying like
Personal-
like people have left an energy there. Is that where you go with it? Like an energy,
Yeah,
or
so, like-
something like no, not like an omen. An omen's a sign jam,
Like they've
or a
attached,
possessed already
they've
in the kid.
attached, yeah, they've like attached themselves to an object within that house that's meaningful to the family.
I get
sort
where
of
you
thing.
go with that. So you're saying it could be just like charged items, which is a believable, like, is a thing that parapsychologists and I don't know if parapsychology is still the word for it, but demonologists that believe that items specifically can be charged, hence stuff like the Dybbuk's boxes.
I mean, like a taxidermy cat.
I mean, I guess so, like Pet Cemetery style. Sometimes what you put ground don't come back out the same and that, but you know.
I got a couple, and it's so one of them is a visual one that I didn't see, but it was still in the vicinity of where I was, and then the second one was more of an experience. The first one was I was asleep, chilling, just as you do, and
Sleeping and chilling at the same time. I didn't know that was possible, but you know.
trust me, it is.
Yeah.
I just got a good experience. But so my family dog was outside in the back garden.
Woof woof. Yeah.
And he
Canada.
generally was going schizophrenic. So my stepdad went out.
Are we talking like Ryan in the club levels?
Oh no, this. is
I've never
probably
been
like-
out with Johnny. How the hell do you even know what I'm like when I go out?
Don't want to know what he's like.
Shit.
But yeah, sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
So my stepdad goes out to see what the dog's going nuts about, and then
Dog secretly took him aside and went, "Yo, mister, don't let me know that, Mark. He keeps getting peanut butter and then spits it out his nutsack. And then he's like, stop me from going inside the house, please." That's what the dog was really saying. But yeah, sorry, Mark. The dog was going schizo, yeah.
So he was literally just eyes just stuck glued to my window and my bedroom window, and my stepdad looked up, and then as he looked up he saw a little boy's face just in the corner of the window looking out at the dog. Now
I know you did. That's the spooky thing, considering there was a little girl in there at
Are you
the
sure
time.
what your brother playing a joke on?
no, so this is what I thought when my stepdad obviously ran upstairs because he didn't know what it was,
Yeah.
and I was asleep, my brother was asleep, and the dog got maybe 3 or 4 inches from my head, and he was just growling and barking.
It's because he's sick
Right
of the
above
peanut
my
butter,
head.
Mark. I'm telling you, that's what I want.
Yeah, and but pretty much my stepdad, the next morning my stepdad asked me and my brother who was up last night, because it made the dog go absolute scatty, and we were like, no, we were both asleep, and my mum turned around and said there was a little boy that had an accident not too far from where we were living. He burnt in a building.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, and the second one was I was just laying on my mum and dad's sofa, come back off phase 1, and about 3 o'clock in the morning, I felt something grab the bottom of my foot. I woke up, couldn't see nothing because it was pitch black, and the next thing I knew, I went flying probably 2 foot from where I was laying, and then as I tried to get up and move, I couldn't move at all, literally just frozen on the floor. I was squirming around trying to get free, and then next thing I know, my stepdad's walking through the living room.
Mark was in a very
Just-
indecent position and had to try and explain to his dad.
Yeah.
No,
So that was the best thing he came up with.
It's not what it looks like.
Ryan, I swear you've been in that position with your mum before.
Now,
Anyway, we digress.
Oh,
big question. Was there cases of ectoplasm on the wall? That's the big question, isn't it? You know.
Unfortunately not, but where my mum and dad live,
Gentleman's relish,
there
that's what it
is
was.
there is a
I've never heard it referred to
I'll be
as
honest.
that.
Ryan never comes up with much, but I'll give him that one.
Dude, that was golden. That was fucking golden.
That's the best thing that's ever come out of his mouth.
So yeah, So yeah.
So yeah, gentleman's relish, Mark.
Yeah. So, but from a family ancestry sort of way, there is an item of some sort. Nobody in the family knows what it is. Every now and again, there's someone that opens the door, walks up the stairs.
Every now and then it spits its gentleman relish everywhere.
That's what a bottle is, isn't it? It's a bottle of Heinz 57's Gentleman Relish. Established 1857. Do not open.
There you go.
But yeah. So yeah.
Highly toxic.
Boys, overall thoughts. Do you guys believe in haunted houses? Yes or no? We'll start with Mark.
It's hard to say for me. I'd have to personally experience something, but I'd say yes.
Believe it. You have to experience something, but yes, from your own personal experience. Righty dokey. Okay. Jam, what about you on this one? Oh god. Every week, man.
I'm gonna say that for you.
So, Jam.
Still a wanker.
Over to you, like, what's your thoughts on haunted houses?
Well, you see, it's not that I don't believe in it, but I just wouldn't want to be in a haunted house because it would just creep the hell out of me.
You're the open-minded guy, but you wouldn't want to do it. Okay, that's cool. That's fair enough. Ryan, what about you? Do you believe in ghosts and haunted houses?
No, not really. I'd go into a haunted house and be perfectly fine. Me and Johnny will do it. We'll do it.
So you say.
You know.
Ryan, if you don't believe in ghosts or anything, is it really a haunted house for you, or is it just a house?
No, it's just a house. It's just a house no one will go and live in.
Right, okay, so he's just happy to go into the house. Whose house?
And
Ron's
Jonathan.
house. And Jonathan, finally, you know. Haunted house, yay or nay?
See, I honestly think most of these places are made up for profit.
However,
would not rule it off that there is
Oh,
a
I'm disappointed
possibility.
in you.
But I'd still happily go in and give it a test.
Hey, there it is.
So he'd happily go in and give it a test, but what if it, like, the final question then for you guys before we wrap this up this evening is, you go into the house and something does actually happen, are you going to still remain skeptic, or is it going to open up your mind?
I'd want to
I'm gonna punch
investigate
James
more.
in the face and they believe it.
You punch him. You can't punch a ghost though, can you? It's not a physical being.
I said I punched James.
Oh right, yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, cool.
you know, next best thing.
Yeah, I guess. Like, you know, but yeah. Anyway,
It depends what happens, doesn't it?
well, that's it. I mean, if you
Yeah.
picked up a disembodied voice on an EVP or something, is that enough to make you a believer?
No, because I
No.
could just be jamming a cupboard
If someone
door.
grabs me in an inappropriate place, then I'll probably
You know that's going to
believe
be what happens.
Especially with his mumbling as well.
Anyway, so yeah, this has been a Gameboyz Talk the Supernatural. Some of it's made sense, some of it's not made a lot of sense, but these days neither does life. I'm Ritchie J. You can catch me again next week with these guys. I think we're going to talk about alien abductions next week, lads. What do you reckon?
It's probing time.
It's interesting how he's
right for that, then, isn't he?
he's off to Tesco's to
think I
go
just
get
broke my
sorted.
bed.
Yeah, he's in
There
elation.
we go.
This evening I have been joined by Ryin Leeder,
Banger.
Jonathan Edwards,
Keep
Nice
it real,
time.
guys.
James Herrington,
Before you coming in, goodbye and thank you.
and Military Mark.
God. I mean, yeah, have a nice evening.
We'll get that one through. Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, not once, not twice.
Whoa, you're
Join us next
stupid.
week
Don't mind that.
before we drop it again. Catch you later.